this long 2-week process of standardized testing. I hate standardized testing. You know why? Because you have to fill in the stupid little bubbles. Now that's not the only reason, but here's, like, bubbles. Seriously, and every single time they have to, like, tell you, fill in the bubble completely. Use only number 2 pencil. If you erase completely. Do not make any stray marks around the bubble. If you do make any stray marks, be sure to erase them completely. Do not use your Scantron as scrap paper. Do not make any stray marks. Fill in your bubble completely. Yes, we get your point. Fill in the stupid bubbles. And then the other thing, so you have to sit there for like how long? Long time. Like even if you finish early, you're just sitting there. Now some people cannot entertain themselves. Like they cannot start like doodling little pictures in their heads, or they cannot like start making up stories about like the fly that you see on the wall. Like now for people like that who just get so easily bored, this is torture. Because the only thing you can think about is, I am so bored. Well, everyone just finished their test already. But even if everyone in the entire room is done with their test, you still have to sit there for like 40 minutes later. And no talking, no reading, no drawing, no nothing. Like the most you can do is like go back and re-look at your answers, but that is so boring in itself. Like, you can sleep, but it's really not the best idea to sleep. Me and my friend, one time, we were like making faces at each other across the room, and then the teacher said that she was going to invalidate our test if we didn't stop. Furthermore, this goes on for weeks, at least where I live, because like you'll have one day where you take 2 tests, then the next day you take another 2, and then you're free for the rest of the week, and then the next week you end up taking another 2 tests, and the next day you take 1 test, and then a week later you finish up with like 2 more tests. And like it just goes on and it just drags and drags. And you've got like 4 hours. Yeah, like 4 hours you're sitting in a classroom just thinking about either the test you just finished or the test you're going to have to take in an hour. Because you have to sit there and just think. Ugh. One of the worst things that can happen is that if the room is freezing and you forgot to bring a jacket, because it's the middle of the summer sometimes. Well, not the middle of the summer, but it's like at the very end of the school year sometimes, and it is so hot outside that you went in and you wore shorts and a t-shirt, you know? It would make sense, right? But it just so happens that since you're not in your usual classroom for standardized testing, that you just happen to get the coldest room possible in the entire school. Now, then you're freezing, and you can't really focus on your test, and that is one of the worst things that can happen. Worse than that is if you're sitting next to or around in the general area of somebody who just does not know that it's a standardized test. Like, one of those people who will just start humming, or be like whispering to somebody next to them, or be like tapping their pencils, or like clicking their hands on the thing. Like, it might even be a nervous habit, but no matter what they're doing, if it's something annoying that's distracting you from your test, like, oh my gosh, like, somebody, like, shut the person up, but no, you know, you can't say anything to them, and if the teacher isn't noticing, you know, you just have to put up with it. The worst case scenario for that is if, like, the person actually, like, gets the whole room invalidated. Like the person starts talking enough that the entire room is considered like contaminated or something, or now impure because the testing environment was not completely 100% silent. If someone's watch on their alarm goes off, it's all over. If someone's cell phone goes off, it's all over. If someone's calculator beeps, it's all over. I am serious. You can all get invalidated, so you will all have to retake the test, and you have to relive the horror all over again. It's just that bad. Someone walks into the room, like, too loudly or something, like if the door slams behind them, the test could get, like, invalidated. And you know what? That is the worst case scenario. No one wants the tests invalidated. So this is what I'm going to have to put up with for the next 2 weeks. Standardized testing. Hate it. So now, if my question is, does anyone have like a standardized test or just any regular test horror story? Now, I know I don't have too many viewers at the moment, but let's say someone does decide to, I want to see some stories in the comments. I would like some video responses if possible, because, I think that would be some cool, serious test horror story moments. So, I want to see that, and wish me luck on my, oh my gosh, standardized test.